What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Show back with another video, and today I'm here featuring Crown Spectro. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's up, YouTube?
One more time for the people in the back.
What's up, YouTube?
Alright, so we have a very special video for you guys today. This is going to be a top 10 list. We're both picking 5 games from the new year that's announced for the new year. Some of them don't have dates, but you know, we are picking 5, each picking our own personal 5 that are different from each other's. And we're gonna kind of put them in a little list and order them up.
A lot of games in 2023 to think about. A lot to choose from. Some of this. This new year is a great year.
Yeah. So without further ado, you want to get into it? I guess I'll go ahead and start and get the video started or whatever. But after that, we'll talk about maybe a couple of honorable mentions before we end the video. So stay tuned for that. As always, thanks for watching, man. Enjoy the video. Anything else you gotta say, Crown?
Nah, that's all.
Oh yeah, make sure you go to his socials, man. Follow his socials and everything. Follow his YouTube. It'll be the link in the description. We coming hard this year, man. To 2023, we coming hard. You know what I'm saying? It's grind time. All right, enjoy the video. All right, for my number 5 pick, we're going with One Piece Odyssey, coming out on January 12th, 2023, and that's for consoles, and for PC, it's coming out one day later. Alright, One Piece Odyssey is an upcoming turn-based RPG published by Bandai Namco. Now, as this year started to end, you know, I really started to get my hype for One Piece. I just think having a One Piece game that's got about 20 or 30 hours in story would just be right up my alley. You know, it doesn't have to be a long JRPG. It could be something that at least lets me play with my favorite characters from the One Piece franchise and, you know, still be a decently lengthy story. And once again, before we go to the next pick, it is a turn-based JRPG. Comes out January 12th and 13th, 12 for consoles, 13 for PC. Let's move on.
And now, starting off with my number 5, we're going to talk about Street Fighter 6. This was a game where I did not expect this to be on my top 5, but it is because I want to see what Street Fighter does with the next game. I'm very curious to see what Street Fighter 6 turns out to be, because this game is just... It looks so fun, honestly. Like, Street Fighter games have never been my cup of tea, if I can say it. But this game has a different allure to it. You know, I'm watching it. I'm watching how the characters fight. I like how the way they dress. I like the way everything looks. You know, the game got my attention, and it's definitely a must-play game for me in 2023. If you would have told me that 5 years ago, I would have called you crazy.
All right, next up for me is going to be Disgaea 7. Now, they don't really have a release date for this game now, and this game might have been higher, but there's 2 things keeping it back. Obviously, it may not release in 2023, so that's obviously an issue, not a big issue. But the main issue with this game is that Disgaea 6 was very mediocre. It was not a very fun game to me, so it definitely kind of like killed some of the hype for me. You know, I love Disgaea. I love the series. I talk about it a lot on my channel. But let's be honest, Disgaea 6 was not it. This one in particular looks like it may have learned from the mistakes. They obviously try to make Disgaea 6 something that was more mainstream instead of like giving us all different very complex systems that the mainstay fans really love. They try to reach a new audience. It seems like with this one they may be trying to get back on the right path. This is why I put this at number 4. Because I've seen the trailers, and from the trailers it looks really good. And from everything I know from the actual Disgaea franchise, this is a game that's going to give me many hours, and it's going to be something I'm going to very much be interested in. When I play these games, I just lose track of time, and I honestly do not care. I don't even care that I do. I definitely need to be on this list, even though it was kind of low.
But regardless, for my number 4, Forspoken. Forspoken is a game that went right under my radar for the longest of time. I made a video about it. I talked about it. I don't know how this game went under my radar, but it did. Alright, I got around to it. I played a little bit of the demo. I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. Alright, I enjoyed the game. It's a Square Enix game. I like Square Enix games. I like Kingdom Hearts and I like Final Fantasy. I know Square Enix has a couple more games I like, but I can't remember the name of them right now. But that's besides the point. Forspoken could be very good, or it could be a miss. Square Enix is known for having hits and misses, alright? Especially in today's day. Now, I feel like this is going to be a hit, but, you know, some people might feel like this may be a miss. I mean, to each their own. But I'm still willing to give Forspoken the benefit of the doubt. So definitely on my must play for 2020.
So next up for number 3, we have Fire Emblem Engage. Now 2 of my top 5 picks come in January. So for me, January is a really good month for me. And it's gonna be a Nintendo Switch exclusive. Comes out on January 20th, and it is the next mainline game in the Fire Emblem series. Now the reason why I have this one higher than Disgaea is because the last game for Fire Emblem that I played, last entry would be Three Houses. And Three Houses was absolutely fantastic. I mean, it had literally everything I loved, you know. A lot of people would say it's something like Persona, which I do agree, but in the same time, no, not really. My favorite thing about the Fire Emblem franchise is that they have the thing called permadeath, where you basically, if your characters die, they die for real. I love this system. Whenever I see it in any game, I like to play that, because for me, it makes the game more compelling. Like, you definitely have to care about throwaway units in battle. You know, there are no throwaway units because everybody that you are fighting with, you know, you feel for them. You don't want them to die. Particular has another system I'm really gonna be cool with. Now, I started playing Fire Emblem through Three Houses. I really started with Three Houses, so I'm really new to the series. So forgive me for being, you know, really new in you guys' fandom. But I do think it's a great game. And Engage has a new mechanic now where you basically get these rings, and the rings have like the souls of famous heroes from the Fire Emblem franchise. So they've already shown off like Marth, and they've shown off some of the characters from Three Houses as DLC, and that for me is really gonna bring this game over the top. This is something that I can look at and really see if I'll like. Some of the other games on this list is I'm a little iffy about, but I am highly anticipated for. This one in particular, from what I've seen so far, this definitely looks up my alley. This looks like exactly what I love. Number 3, and we did have the struggle for number 2. Let's go ahead and move on to my next pick.
Number 3, people. Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. Oh man, you guys saw what happened with the Game Awards. You saw that when Batman showed up. Arkham Batman, the same man that hit you with a 100-piece combo. That fight is gonna be insane. Like, you would think we supposed to be scared of Superman, Green Lantern, and all them, but that Arkham Batman, bro, that man don't play no games, bro. Like, man, bro, he's that guy, bro. Like, Arkham Batman. Oh man. And it's also last time we hear Kevin Conroy as Batman, so, you know, rest in peace to Kevin Conroy, man. He's the real GOAT.
So for my number 2 pick, I'm gonna go ahead and hit Spider-Man 2. Crown Spectra was the one that really put me on, you know, because I've always loved Spider-Man. I loved him as a character, but for some reason I really wasn't drawn to the game. I heard it was good, but you know, it's one thing to hear a game is good and not really be interested in it. But when I played Spider-Man for the first time on PS4, it was during the cycle where I had no games to play, and I was just picking it up because I was literally forced to, because I had literally nothing to play. Moving on to play Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales was great, you know, especially being a person of color. That's, you know, a thing there. You have a great superhero in Miles Morales, and he's basically another Peter Parker that's up and coming, but he has a different way of life, you know. And it's really interesting to see that in a video game where it doesn't feel, you know, too forced. And after playing Miles Morales, I was excited, yo. And then they announced that Spider-Man was be coming out in the fall of 2023. So I definitely feel like this had to make my list, because while that Wolverine teaser is important, I don't think it's coming out nowhere near 2023. And the fact that we've gotten a Spider-Man game and a, you know, much shorter but still amazing game in Miles Morales, we'll finally be able to see what a Spider-Man game built from the ground up for a PS5 system would be like. Just because Spider-Man did so well, the Wolverine will probably really do really good. Hopefully they can carry that magic over and really show us what Marvel games should look like. And that's why I chose Spider-Man 2 as my second pick.
Alright, for my number 2, Hogwarts Legacy. This game here is a game where I saw and I kept my eye on it, because for one, I don't hate Harry Potter, but I'm not a super fan of Harry Potter either. Harry Potter is one of those series where I watched it once and I didn't come back to it. Like, I watched all the Harry Potter movies once and I never rewatched a single one of them. And after that, it's just like, I didn't really expect much to come of Harry Potter after that, but they put some new haircuts in there. They got everybody in there in Hogwarts looking fresh. Have you not seen the cuts, bruh? Like, do you see the black people cuts, bro? They don't never get the black people good cuts in video games, bro. They got my boy the first lineup. Y'all think I'm not finna have my first lineup learning? Man, look, I'm out there being there, doing it all. Abracadabra, all of it. All of it. Every spell you can get, I'm getting it. I'm gonna be the greatest wizard ever. You best believe it. Just wait and see.
Alright, for my number 1 pick, I think it's pretty much self-explanatory. I said it earlier in the list, and it kind of has to be this, if I'm being honest. I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. I've been a Final Fantasy fan since I was little, man. Definitely a special place in my heart. I love me some Final Fantasy games. They really carried me through a lot of difficult times, because those are games you can just kind of get engrossed in with the world. You know, I feel like when I play a game like that, it's more than just a game for me. Like, I really feel like I'm in a fantasy world. Like, Final Fantasy 16 to me looks amazing. It looks like something mixed, like Devil May Cry mixed with Final Fantasy. It looks amazing. The story is really drawing me in. The aesthetic for it reminds me of Final Fantasy 14, which is another game I love, but definitely something I'm locked in on. This for sure is something I need specifically. I was so happy when they announced the release date for it. And considering we're getting other projects in this same year, it's going to be a good year for Square Enix. They've really been tuning out a lot of stuff lately. But with that being said, guys, that is my number 1 pick. That is what I'm going with. Final Fantasy 16. June 22nd, 2023. PlayStation 5. Definitely probably my pick for Game of the Year. Final Fantasy 16.
And then for my final game, my most anticipated game, the greatest game, I'm hoping that it comes out in 2023. It doesn't get delayed, because Square Enix loves to delay games. Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2. Man, I'm so waiting for this game to come out. I'm still in the middle of playing Crisis Core Reunion. Having a lot of fun playing that. But for Final Fantasy VII Remake, it's going to be crazy. The Part 2 Remake is going to be crazy. I played the DLC. I had a lot of fun playing as Yuffie. It was so much fun to play Final Fantasy VII, and it was my first time playing a Final Fantasy VII game. Alright, so I didn't know nothing about Final Fantasy VII as a whole before that. I played Final Fantasy games before that. I played Final Fantasy X, and I don't think I even beat that, but I played it though. And I had a lot of fun playing that, but Final Fantasy VII Remake was just something different for me. I had the game for the longest, alright? It was a weird situation. I pre-ordered the game, I bought the game, and I didn't play it for probably like a year or so. I don't know why, I just didn't play it. And then like I finally got around to playing it. I can't remember what year I played it, honestly. I don't know if it was like last year, 2021. It might have been like 2021, early 2021 when I played it. Or it might have been 2020. I can't exactly remember the date. But I had a lot of fun playing it. It was a lot of fun. Cloud is a dope character. Everybody in Final Fantasy VII is a dope character. I can't wait to see them all come back for Part 2. I'm always be grateful for Final Fantasy VII Remake, and that's the reason why I'm looking forward to it.
Alright, that was a fire list. I liked your list. I like mine's a little bit better. But I think if I had to choose one that was my favorite out of your list specifically, it would probably be Street Fighter. Surprisingly, I thought about putting that game on my list too. I felt like Street Fighter is one of those games I'm actually enjoy this year. I like the little walking around the world and stuff, and the world battles and stuff. I'm really into fighting games. That's the kind of game I was kind of interested in on your list. A lot of other games, but that one was the one that surprised me the most. What about my list? You like any games on my list?
You got a fire list? No, got about it, show. Fire list. I definitely rock with Final Fantasy 16 the most, though. I mean, man, Final Fantasy 7 Remake really put me on Final Fantasy whole world, man. I'm really into it now. Final Fantasy 16 looks like a lot of fun. Hope it turns out to be a great story. I know Final Fantasy games have a different story with different protagonists, so I look forward to Enix brings to the table with this one.
Nah, for sure. I'm pretty sure they just heard everything you just said. It lagged a little bit, so if you guys are watching this little part, then just kind of be mindful of that. It should play everything though, so I heard everything you said, so that was good. But nah, for real though, Final Fantasy 16 is gonna be crazy, and Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2, that's gonna be crazy too. With that being said, man, I'm gonna go ahead and end out this video here. Crown, you got anything else to say?
Hope you guys have a great New Year, and stick to your New Year's resolution this time.
Yeah, great New Year's resolution.
Because I'm gonna fail mine.
Hopefully Crown gets some better internet, you know what I'm saying, this New Year's. But with that being said, guys, thanks for watching. like and subscribe to both channels, man. We going hard, we going crazy this new year. And thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. It's everything.